Oh, I told Kevin that I had to go because we're getting ready to podcast. He said, have fun. Don't say anything ignorant.
Don't be ignorant. You're ignorant.
That's just silly. That's ignorant. Don't be ignorant.
Don't be ignorant.
Don't be ignorant.
Do you normally say something ignorant?
Pretty much. Do you listen to me?
That's true.
Don't be ignorant.
Actually, I think people don't realize that people are like, oh yeah, we heard that the other day in the podcast. I'm like, did I say that?
Yep.
Like,
We say things that we don't remember.
the next hour and a half is just out of my mouth, and it doesn't go anywhere but there.
So podcasting is like booze.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
It's just this weird blackout.
Okay, anyway.
Yay!
Welcome. What's red and looks like a blue bucket?
A red bucket?
Yeah.
See, my favorite is what's blue and smells like red paint.
Blue paint?
Yeah. There's a Mythbusters where Carrie Byron tells that joke, and it's a drinking one where they're trying to get drunk to do something, and like it's the funniest joke either of them have ever told or heard. It's hilarious.
Oh, and we're back with the dad jokes.
Woo!
Yeah, all right. Welcome to the Byte Me podcast, episode 29.
That's almost 30.
I know. What happens at 30?
Almost 30 podcast.
I don't know. We enter some sort of weird middle age where we finally make enough money to live and afford a house. But
that's the dirty 30, right?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, dirty 30.
No.
That afford a house crap, that doesn't come till much later.
Well, probably not if you live in Seattle.
Hey.
But
Yeah.
like other places,
I'm
yeah.
getting ready for that now.
Yeah.
Are you buying a house?
Soon. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I bought my first house at 30-ish.
Wow, I feel seriously inadequate.
I lived in Utah. Like, do you know what a house costs in
Oh,
Utah?
yeah, like $5 on a Coke.
Yeah. It was not expensive. My house is the same, it's smaller than the house he's going to buy, and it was probably going to be half the price. So
Yeah, probably. Seattle's expensive and stupid, but it's fun.
yeah, it's real nice.
Anyway, my name is Adam West.
and I am Cliff Johnson.
And Dylan East.
It's not. You're not going to make it
we
happen. It's
cannot
like
take
fetch.
him
It's not going to
anywhere.
make it happen.
But I'm to your east.
Tell us what we're going to do today.
Today we're going to talk about all the games that we played, which is actually quite varied. This week.
It's good.
Yeah. And news. We have lots of news and stuff and things. So we're going to talk about the news, Switch, Nintendo chat.
Yeah, and how dumb it is.
Which people think it's dumb. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
No, it's super cool.
Oh, okay. This will be a lively discussion.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Play service, online
I don't know
service,
what it's
whatever.
called, but-
Whatever it's going to be. Actually, it sounds like it might be kind of worth it. So we'll do that. Hearthstone got an update. Big thing or little thing or however you want to look at it. E3 is happening.
I think it's a big thing.
Well, I guess. It's so big that Nintendo's not going to be there.
Yeah. Neither's EA. But it's
Yeah,
all right.
so, but a lot is going on, and we're going to give you a quick overview of all the stuff that is coming, might be coming, things we kind of hope are coming, and stuff. Pokemon Direct. That's a thing?
It was today.
Was it today?
It was.
I did not know that. I wish I was more of a Pokemon fan.
It lasted 8 minutes.
That's
It was
about my,
very direct.
Yeah.
That's about my attention span for all things Pokemon. And then our questions. We have a question of the week, of course, from Vinny. Jesse T, thank you for your question, because that's a really good question, because there's a lot of good stuff. And yeah. And Kevin S. has got a question. Plus, we'll talk about cheap free games. I actually have a small bite that we didn't list on here that I'm excited about, because I was a big fan of the first game, and there's a second one coming out.
I know what you're talking about.
Hint, hint. And, of course, Troll Corner.
It's good stuff.
Yes. First, we start, though, every week with what we're playing. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay.
You. Me. So it's me. I was sick last week, which sucked because I felt like a dumpster fire. But the good news is that meant I got to sit home on my couch and play video games for 2 days.
Yes.
I need to be sick more often.
That was real nice. If I could just be sick without actually being sick, I think that's just called taking a day off, though. So,
See, and I think
the
it's
good old hooky.
This is funny because I was legit sick, not last week, but the week before. I took a day and I played a bit of a game, and I got all kinds of crap for being sick and playing a game.
I got
all kinds.
from me specifically.
No,
all kinds.
You're not just gonna. If I am sick, I am not just sitting around and being sick.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I did when I was like 19. I was,
waste
oh, poor me, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Now I do that and play games.
Yeah. I played like 8 hours of Nier Automata. Automata?
Tomato.
Tomato.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things you played.
And
so
it was great. I finally beat it. So the game's weird in that it has endings A through, I think, G.
Holy crap.
I beat ending A, which is just like the first playthrough of the game, which is about 13 to 16 hours. I think I took 16. And then there's a playthrough B, which is the same as A, but with some different stuff in it. And then there's C, which is, or I think C, D, and E, which are different endings than the first two, and then there's like 2 joke endings. So
You beat the game. Just kidding.
it kind of literally like I beat one of the joke endings, which was G, I believe, and it's literally like 5 minutes, and then it just like ends, and you're like, haha.
Like post-credit sequence.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I mean, kind of feels that way almost. Except that you're starting back over the first of the game. I don't know. Super fun game. I want to talk about its easy mode, but we're going to talk about it next week just because we've got so much crap to talk about today. But it's really good, and if you like those kind of really super fast-paced beat-em-ups, it's really worth it. And it probably is worth it to actually play through all 39 of its endings. But I was like, I've played 16 hours this game. I've got 1,000 other games to play, so I sent it back to GameFly. But it's real good. I think I might pick it up in the future when it's super cheap and then do the other endings because it's got a great story and it's interesting and the gameplay is great. So really recommend it if you have a PlayStation.
Yeah, who doesn't have a PlayStation?
A lot of people.
I know, but that's not. That was a yeah.
Although, if you don't have one, they're releasing a gold one this week.
Why?
It's so ugly.
I was gonna say, I
really
mean,
ugly.
Gold is the least cool metal.
Oh, it's so ugly. But it's cheap. $250.
How about silver?
So
it literally looks like a piece of plastic gold.
it's ugly.
It's terrible.
So ugly.
Anyway.
And it's going to age incredibly
I
poorly.
want mine. I want to. If it has like a silver arm, I'm in.
You're so weird.
It's for-
Do
Why
you
would
get
it have an
Do you
arm?
get it?
No.
Okay.
Well, now explain it.
C-3PO.
Oh yeah, that.
He's
Oh.
gold.
What about a
He's
red
gold.
arm? Like in the new movies. Whatever.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyways, yeah, it's way uglier than C-3PO. Way uglier.
They
Then
had the R2D2 Xbox, so it was
oh, they did. I forgot about that.
See?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's
many
cool.
layers.
Your humor and,
Like an
and
onion.
intelligence is wasted upon us.
I know.
It is. It is.
No.
There's like 4 people out there
Think
that
of
are
all the
like,
stuff
no,
I don't-
yes, I
Think
get
of all the
it.
stuff I don't say.
I
My brain would explode.
don't want to think about all those things.
You can't. You can't even fathom it.
Yeah. Anyways, I beat that in the first day I was sick, and then the second day I was sick. I played a bunch of The Last of Us, which I have still not beaten. And apparently, even though I felt like I'd played a ton of that game, apparently I'm only about 30% of the way through it. The game's just amazing.
It's
The
real
stories are incredible. The dialogue's incredible. I just wish it was a little easier. I'm real bad at it, so but we'll talk about that next week when we talk about Nier. I also beat Oxenfree, which is so dang good. Literally, it's on sale for $5 on GOG right now.
I was going to
It's
say,
part of their
basically,
summer
it's
sale.
free right now.
Oh, it is
Oxenfree
so
is
good.
almost free.
It's normally $20. It's one of those kind of like 3 or 4 hour kind of walking simulator, adventure-y, dialogue, narrative games, and it's so good. It's unlike any game I've ever played. It's super spooky, like that kind of just you're playing at night and like hearing things behind you, and the music is like I want to talk to the person who did the music because I've got to think they must have researched like how to use certain tones and how to use certain combinations of music to make it absolutely horrifying. And it really is. It's just it's an experience that you should play. And once you beat the first game, there's actually a new game plus mode where you can play it again with new areas and chances to find new things and affect the story. And like I can't really say anything more than that, but again, if you're unsure of it, I've got the entire thing in video form up on YouTube. But you
The
can
whole
watch
game?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can watch the first half hour of it, though, and there's really no spoilers, but it'll give you a good idea of kind of how the gameplay works and how the dialogue works and how the narrative works and just kind of what you're doing. Like, the only negatives about the game is there's a bunch of walking. Like, it's literally like you're here and you've got to go over here, and literally you have to walk the entire way there. And sometimes there'll be, like, 2 loading screens in the middle of those, and the loading screens are long. So, But besides that, it's gorgeous, and it's just scary. And I'm not a big fan of scary games, but it's not jump scares. It's just spooky, and it's eerie, and, like, gives you that feeling of, like, you're alone outside at night, and there's no reason you should be outside. No reason you should be scared to be outside at night in your own neighborhood or whatever. But like, or, in your own living room, but you're looking out the window and like, should I close these blinds?
Right.
It's real good. And then I played some more Horizon Zero Dawn, which I hadn't done in a while. And
Have you beaten that yet?
No, God, I'm only like 6 hours into it, and it's like a 40-hour game. But it's super fun. It's really good. So I think I actually have it from GameFly, and I've had it from GameFly now since like February. I should really just return it and then buy it. That would be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So good game.
And
Anyway,
it's
that's
cheap,
me.
Right? It's cheapish right now, isn't
It's
it?
$40, so it's on sale this week for $40, I think. So
$1 per hour.
yeah,
Deal.
Basically.
I'll probably wait until it hits more like. I'll probably wait until I can get it for GameFly for 15 or 20.
Right.
Anyway, that's me.
What about you, Mr. Dillian?
Yeah.
Did you just say Dillion?
Dillian?
Like it.
I had a weird little thing. Dylan,
like
what
it.
are you?
I don't know if that's my name.
It's
but
Close enough.
It's
But-
close.
I'll respond this time. Well, I played some Overwatch, but I was going to take this time rather than talking about playing Overwatch that I would. I read the comics.
Did you read all of them?
I read all of the comics.
Nice.
They're not long. I think
No.
they're all like about 10 pages, and I think there's 10 of them.
Is
currently.
that like a thing you do? Like, are they downloadable or you just do them out of the website?
You can go to Amazon and buy them for Kindle, and they're $0.00.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
I
wow.
should do that.
They're available for free. However you wish to get them. If
That's
you just want
super
to read them on
cool.
your desktop, if you want to read them on your iPad. I'm trying this whole comics on
Thing.
an iPad.
How is that?
I like it so far. I'm going to see if it actually. I love flipping through pages, but at
Yeah.
the same time, like the screen on my iPad is great. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I read all my comics on the iPad, and it's really good.
I don't have an iPad.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I really wanted more though. Like, and I guess that's a good problem to have. Is like I read these and I was like, oh, more.
And they're still releasing more, right?
I hope so. I hope this continues. I know they're actually compiling them and releasing it physically, so you will be able to get like a small graphic novel of all of these pretty soon, I think. But each one kind of focuses on a character or a couple characters, and they're about 10 pages, so it's just a tease.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it is cool how it kind of just fills out the character, their backstory, a little bit of like what's going on, who is this character, how they. You kind of have that sense when you play the game and the little things they throw out verbally or whatever. You kind of have an idea of their personalities, but to see that on the page is cool. Coupled with like the little short films that they do, so it's like they've created such a
Cool narrative.
a lore behind this multiplayer game. That's cool.
And they do. I mean, they break news through those comics. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You're not missing out on anything if you don't read them. But if you do read them, you get a lot more insight into your characters.
Yeah, and
it's
I
really
think
cool.
I think there's a lot there, and it's totally worth spending the. I mean, you can read all of them in an hour.
Mhm.
If you're like super slow reader,
Yeah,
I guess.
That's
But,
awesome. I should grab those.
Just like the Junkrat Roadhog one, I think was one of my favorites because they're just kind of like they're like the mercs. They're hired to do this job, and they think they got this good gig this time, and it just little twists, and there's a lot of character
That's cool.
to them. Roadhog doesn't really use words, and it's funny, and so it's that camaraderie, and it's really enjoyable to see that and how that kind of translates into the game when you play it afterwards. You're like, oh, that's
cool.
you see that. So
This isn't by no way a comic book show, but if you like comic books, like first of all, Adam, if you want to grab the 7-inch Kindles. Are super cheap. They're like $60.
Yeah.
And they are great comic readers. I have one of
Okay.
those. It works really well. But the other thing is Hoopla Digital, HOOPLA. Depending on what your library is, like your local library, like for us in King County, you can actually get 5 comic books a month through Hoopla for free.
Oh, wow.
And if you live in Seattle, you can get 10. So
wow.
yeah. And so like if you want free comics to read, and like that's everything from a single issue to like a year compilation worth. So like I read Saga because Saga's a great comic, but I just read the compilations, and it's one comic out of them. I read
wow.
Oh crap! We were talking about it the other day. The black and white comic that was a really good
Sin
movie. Sin
City.
City. I read all the Sin City comic books that way. It's a cool way to do it. So
Well, good. Well, I've been looking for a reason to get like a little Kindle tablet,
Yeah.
and I can't. I always think, oh, I'm going to get one because this, or I'm going to get one because that, and I always end up not doing it.
I
just
literally
need to.
bought the 7-inch one so I could watch movies on the plane, and so I could read comics on it. They're so cheap, like and they're great.
I'm finding an excuse to buy one, but I don't need one because I have an iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find an excuse.
I have a 6 and a 7-inch one. I don't need.
and
either
then
of
it's
them,
$40,
but-
so it's literally nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
So-
Same.
Ugh.
This works. Anyway, what
That
did you
it?
play?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about, so I won't.
Oh, okay. So I did a thing and logged on to Steam Friday, I think, and saw that there was something on sale that everybody keeps telling me I need to play. So I bought The Witcher 3, the Game of the Year edition, so it's got all the DLC and everything, which was funny because just The Witcher 3, the base blah version, was $24.
Yeah.
The complete everything was $25.
Yep.
I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and pay that extra dollar.
Right.
So I started that, and that's it's really good so far. I mean, I'm only an hour or two into it.
It's gorgeous, though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and I didn't realize just how much voice acting was going to be a part of it. Because who made this one? Is it
CD Projekt Red?
Oh, okay. So it reminds me in a way of the Knights of the Old Republic style conversations and choices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Some of the controls feels a little wonky to me, but I think that might just because, and we talked about this earlier, because I'm a PlayStation guy.
Yeah.
I'm used to the PlayStation controller, and I'm using an Xbox controller for this, so I think it might just be.
There's just a lot of buttons in that too. Like, it feels very Breath of the Wildy to me, where I'm like, every single thing does something.
Yeah.
And it's complicated. You've got a bow and 2 swords and
I don't even have a bow yet.
I think you get a bow.
I've got a horse.
You've got a horse. Good
yeah,
enough.
I've got a great horse.
But
I like the horse that you can hold down a certain button while
he'll run on the path.
It'll follow the
until
path.
he doesn't.
Oh, until he doesn't.
Runs off into a field. Yeah, but I mean, the game's great. Like, it's amazing. And if you don't actually own it, that sale is off on Steam, but it's on Good Old Games. It's $25.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I logged in yesterday and I was all, oh, that game's back up to $50.
Yeah, that's one that I really need to spend some time with, because I'm the same. I've spent like maybe 6 hours in it, and I mean, that means I still have 124 left.
Roughly.
So.
And I also, a while back, I picked up the BioShock Remastered Collection. For like ridiculously, obscenely cheap for all 3 regular versions of the game and then all 3 remastered versions of the game. So I've got 6 versions of these games. So I started with the original BioShock, and I'd never played it. My ex played it, and I watched him play, and so I know the twist at the end, and I know the difference between harvesting and not harvesting the the Adam from the Little sisters. Yeah, what are little girls? Little sisters.
Yeah.
Big Daddy and
the Big Daddy thing, yeah. But since I'd never played it, I guess I didn't really realize and appreciate just how nerve-wrackingly scary this game is.
It's a horror game, like legit.
Yeah. It's there's been times where I've screamed and jumped back in my chair and almost like ripped my headphones out of my little Focusrite. So,
in case anyone's ever wondering, like, the best part of playing games with Adam is that he's very loud.
I'm very loud.
A little sister.
I really enjoy it, actually.
Yeah,
because Adam
loud.
vocalizes what I'm thinking in my head. It's terrific.
You're welcome for that.
I'm yelling inside.
And out. But yeah, so I started playing that, and it's scary. It's scary AF. So
yeah, it really
It's one of my
is.
favorite games.
It's so good.
Ever.
Yeah, I really like it.
If you haven't played it and you don't know what the twist is, like the twist comes like probably 50% through the way of the game, and you're like, oh, this must be the end, and then you're like, oh wait, there's more.
Yeah,
it's real good.
And the twist will throw you.
Uh-huh.
I honestly don't. I barely remember that game. It was so long ago. I should probably play it again sometime.
Yeah,
I've got it on Steam.
Nice. Very nice.
So anyway, so that's what I've been playing, and I also, there's this game I keep talking about called Limelight on my PS4 when I just want to chill and do nothing and not think too terribly hard. Limelight,
which is always.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes having that game, though, is really special. Like, just that. Alto's Adventure is that for me.
Yeah.
Where I just like want to put on headphones and not do anything. It's great. It's nice to have that game.
It's good. It's good stuff. So, yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Nice.
Yes, and then we move on to...
News!
We barely even have to prompt
go.
him anymore. It's great.
I know. That's why I didn't even make eye contact that time.
I made
just
eye
had
contact
to,
with you.
and that's why I looked away.
I looked real hard.
I felt the burn.
Perfect.
But, before we get into the news thing, real quick, if you're listening to us like on iTunes or Google Play, you can rate us. You can give us a like, or you can rate it on there with a little 5-star thing and write a review.
Being the correct rating.
5-star, of course, is the best rating, the correct rating. But yeah, we are. If you do that, it just makes it easier for other people to find us. If people search in, video games or 3 crazy guys talking about computers.
I keyword that in every single podcast. 3
guys
crazy
with
guys.
facial hair.
Yeah. Varying degrees of such.
Yeah, it very much helps, though.
Yeah, but so it helps us. So if you're listening either on Google Play or iTunes, make sure you give us a quick rating. 5 stars, please.
Thank you.
That'd be great. All right. Anyway, moving on to our first order of business. I'm assuming we're going to talk about this first, since it is first.
I believe so.
Voice chat on the Switch. Cliff's notes, say it's both stupid and complicated.
Yes.
Why?
So
I mean, why do you
I barely
think?
looked at this, so I'm just kind of just lay it out for me.
Dylan was like, "That's not dumb." He doesn't.
No, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to fight for it.
Obvious.
And if it's hard, it'll be obvious, right?
The funny thing is I was talking with YouTuber that I know, Purple Swordfish, the other day. He's like, I bet you Dylan's going to be the guy that's in favor of this.
Yeah,
like,
I saw
literally.
that. I saw that pop up.
Anyway, there's no voice chat built into the Switch. So literally, if you want to play a game and hear the sounds from the game and say, I don't know, talk to people you're playing with, there's literally no way to do that built into the Switch like you would with an Xbox or PlayStation. Like pretty much on both those nowadays, you just plug your headset into the gamepad and it all works. You can chat and you get game audio. With the Switch doesn't even allow you to chat with your friends by plugging it into the Switch. There's literally going to be a separate app you download to your presumably iPhone or Android and talk with your friends via that. And so, like, that's fine. I've actually done that before, when it's hard to set up, like a third-party chat client. I literally just call someone.
The first time that we played together online, we used Facebook.
Yeah, because Dylan's headphones were broken.
And it worked and it was fine.
And it works fine. The exception to that is, like, and I actually do that quite a bit with my brother because he can throw it on speaker. And then his kid doesn't try and unplug things. But the problem is then you don't get game audio. So like we're playing The Division together or we're playing Destiny together and I can't hear bad guys around.
You can't hear the Charlies.
Which is really hard. I can't hear the voiceover from the cutscenes. I can't, you just can't hear what's going on. And so to fix that problem, what you can't see me, but that's fix in air quotes. What Nintendo has created is this little, and this looks kind of actually very specific to Splatoon,
right?
Because it's squid shaped.
I just noticed that.
Yeah. So your headphones will plug into the top of this little squid-shaped thing, and then there'll be a 1/8-inch jack that runs to your cell phone, and then another 1/8-inch jack on a cord that runs to your Switch. And that will allow you to listen to the audio from your phone, listen to the audio from your Switch through your headset. So it's this super complicated splitter. You can guarantee this thing's going to cost. I mean, like, I don't know what the price is, but I bet $30. I think it actually comes with the headphones too, so it might be $60.
Oh my!
And that's their solution. And like, not only is that a complicated, horrible mess of wires for something that very well could be portable,
right?
Like, if this messes, but I mean, I guess that's the other thing is if you're playing this on your TV, you're screwed. You're gonna have to sit literally next to your TV unless these wires are 10 feet long.
Yeah, unless you've got like a 20-foot
extension cable
extension, which I mean you could.
And then if you're playing wirelessly, then you've got like, I don't know, a bunch of wire in your lap. But like the other side of this is like, as much as you and I and Dylan love the Switch, Nintendo has always kind of pushed their systems at a younger demographic, right? And yes, there are a lot of kids these days that have their own smartphone, but not all of them.
Right.
So like there's a bunch of kids that may not be able to even use this because they don't have a smartphone, or they're going to have to constantly be borrowing like their parents' smartphone in order to chat with friends while they're playing a team-based game that kind of needs chat. So I'm just baffled by why they would even think this is a good idea. I mean, when it came out and the Switch didn't have Bluetooth built into it, I was like, well, that's real dumb.
Oh, yeah.
So like, but wired things, whatever. But then not to be able to plug a microphone into the stupid thing?
So here's my thing. Like, it still does have Wi-Fi built in, obviously, and it's got that. So I'm kind of wondering, is this a legit thing?
Yeah, this is like, the app is literally the way you're going to,
like, I can understand the app to a degree, but this splitter thing, is that like,
there's no other way to
but
get,
is that 100% legit from Nintendo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be here in Japan on July 21st. So I don't know what the hell we're going to do, but I guess just either not have audio or not have chat.
That's just
I don't know. It's a really, really, really dumb solution, but it also feels very Nintendo, to be frank.
Well, yeah.
This weird kludgy stupid thing. Yeah. So you're a devil and his advocate?
Like, I'm trying to find the point here. I want it to work.
This one is kind of a challenge, but I am 100% all for the idea of an app. That to me is no problem, just because I have had complications with speaking. I mean, almost weekly or monthly. Like, there's always some sort of problem communicating with somebody in a party when I'm playing a game.
I 100% agree.
I agree.
What do I never experience that with? My phone. So That 100% solves that. However, the wiring that's a little
having audio in
silly.
game is just so important.
I'm wondering like if you're playing most of the time when you're on your headset, you're gonna be playing on your TV. So there has to be another solution. This cannot be there has to be something else, I would say. And if there's not, I don't understand at
It's
all.
real dumb.
Yeah,
But-
like I seriously feel like there is a piece of something missing.
Yeah, there's something missing here.
I don't know what you do though. There's no Bluetooth. There's no, I mean, and like there's a lot of latency if you're trying to like push game audio from your Switch to your router back to your phone. Like, I don't know. It seems my guess is this is the solution.
I feel like it'd be smarter to like stream the audio to the phone and just run it from your phone
Right.
somehow,
Yeah.
from the game.
I don't know. But I mean, just depending on a second hardware thing that, I mean, theoretically costs twice what your Switch does. Seems kind of silly.
I definitely want to see this when it's actually out, so we know exactly what's going on here. However, my one point would be I've seen people do the craziest things with wires and splitters and things. So to say this is like complicated is silly, because what people go through to like put their iPod in their car or something. Like,
you've seen the mess of wires that make
you're
up
not
my
pulling that one on me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Right.
I've seen what people go through to.
Yeah. Oh, like I'm sure people will do it.
Yeah.
I bet you they're just going to complain the entire time.
Like, do you think there'd be any way to hook some kind of like Bluetooth transmitter into that 3.5 millimeter jack and get it to, you know what I mean? That way you can broadcast a Bluetooth from there to you. I mean, what that would do?
Theoretically, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of room here for a third party that's going to just make a solution for
Yeah.
this, and
Right.
they're going to sell it.
But
And
I mean,
is
how
that-
dumb?
Well, yeah, but is that headphone jack, is it, what is that, full duplex, like two-way,
don't
like,
know.
can you send and receive out of there?
I'm not sure.
Or is it just a one-way?
Yeah, they're probably just going to release a Switch Plus, next year. And-
I will be thoroughly pissed
right.
if they bake in voice chat into the next iteration
but
of it.
look at what
I'll
they've done
be-
with the DS. I mean, how many different versions of the 3DS,
Yeah,
2DS,
you
3DS Plus? It's a real possibility. It's a real possibility.
I'll say one last thing. Squid Splitter is great.
It's great.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
like
I agree.
I want a
I love
squid
the aesthetic
splitter.
of it.
Like,
I just don't want that to exist.
like that's
so.
cool. I just want it because it's a squid.
It's cool.
Other
Yeah.
than-
I
I don't actually want to use it.
I already freak out with the number of wires I've got behind my media
I know,
console.
right?
Yeah.
I hear you.
So anyway,
Yep.
well, there's that. Thanks, Nintendo. You got one thing kind of wrong, but it looks like you may have gotten something else kind of right.
Yeah.
Their new online service is coming early next year, and so that's delayed, right?
It was delayed, yeah. It was supposed to be out this year. The nice thing is you're not, I mean, eventually you are going to have to pay to play multiplayer games just like you do on Xbox or
Right.
PlayStation.
But it's not an exponential amount. It's like $20 for the year.
$20 a month, yeah, which is...
$20 for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just said $20 a month.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, $20 a year, which is a really, I mean, that's $40 less than Xbox or PlayStation, which is
Basically.
really nice. So
We don't have a name for this yet.
I don't believe
I don't think so.
Do we have any good ideas for him that we could pitch?
Um,
Can we call it like Nintendo Land or something?
That's
Something
a
that's a
thing,
thing.
though, that they're building in
But
Orlando.
that's- I don't- Nintendo Space, Nintendo.
Nintendo stuff.
Nintendo stuff.
Yeah. But the cool thing about this
And
is
Stuff
We're
Plus.
terrible pitch guys.
Nintendo Stuff Plus. Done.
There we go.
Trademark
Yeah.
that.
TM.
The nice thing about this, though, is that originally when they announced it was going to be like, hey, you have to pay for this to do your online gaming, but hey, we're going to give you a classic game every single month that you can play for 30 days and then have to give it back. And everyone was like, well, that's super dumb.
It's super dumb, but at least it was something.
It was something.
Yeah.
But the good news is apparently it's going to be more as like a Netflix kind of service, like almost like a Games Pass, where you're going to have access to a bunch of old games. They're actually going to add multiplayer to them, so you'll be able to play them like Switch head-to-head remotely, presumably. And they're not going to go away at the end of every month. So it's actually going to be kind of like a cool little service to play some old games. And I think they've actually released what the first couple of them are going to be, but I don't remember what they are. Super Mario 3 is one of them.
Yeah, Super Mario 3, Dr. Mario looks like it's another one, and I'm
Balloon Fight.
guessing I'm not sure what
Balloon Fight.
Oh, yeah, Balloon Fight, yeah, totally.
So who knows what the total list will be. This is coming out, I think, like spring 2018. So, I mean, we're talking like, 8-9 months away.
Right.
But at least it sounds like people were real pissed when they first announced it. They're taking feedback. Which is good.
and that's what I was going to say. At least they heard this and they're like, okay, let's actually listen to what people are saying and do something.
Yeah.
Now listen to us about that stupid splitter thing.
Right.
Yeah. I think this is awesome though in the case of the old virtual console games because honestly, we shouldn't be having to buy those old games.
100% no.
Or for the price, even $5, like, or give me a subscription or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me have the whole, or give me one price for the whole library. Anything. Just let me be able to play these games.
And I think there's so many people that would be perfectly happy to pay $10 a month to access, a huge portion of the NES and the SNES library.
Yeah.
So what does this do though to like people who have a 3DS or a 2DS? Or something like that, and they have the virtual console where they have to pay to play these games. Like, they have to pay per one. I mean, do you think that if they pay that $20 yearly Nintendo whatever it is service, do you think they're going to get it?
I think it's Switch specific. So, I mean, hopefully by the time this comes out, you'll actually be able to go to a store and buy a Switch.
Right.
That'd be magic,
yeah,
right?
that's still not a thing. So.
Yeah, I read yesterday that there are people still literally lining up before stores open to buy Switches, which is crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, I'm still seeing, like when they'll, it'll pop up and be like, back in stock at GameStop or whatever. I'll just click on it for giggles and the page is gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it was like, it wasn't even like hours later.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
That's nuts.
Anyway.
So, all right. Hearthstone update. I don't play the Hearthstone. I tried it, and I should try it again, but I don't play it.
Yeah, we're just going to look at Dylan for now.
Anyway,
Ooh,
yeah, I'm not
us.
going to spend a lot of time. There's all the normal update stuff, but they're adding a couple, one major feature that I think is kind of important for the future of this game, and that's
Water
just,
balloons.
Yes.
No, it gets the cards wet and ruins them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you forget what it was now?
No.
Okay.
What is it?
So you're able to share deck lists with friends.
Oh, that's cool.
So before the social interaction in this game is very limited to like chat and request friend to game, like challenge friend, like that was kind of it. But now you're able to actually like copy your deck list, import deck lists, share deck lists. And that's huge rather than like, okay, your friend tells you this deck list or sends you like a text message with that deck list or is like, go check it online here. And you have to like literally scroll on your browser and find all these cards now, like just built in.
So how does that work if you don't own the cards? Do you have to like grind to get them or?
Yeah, you're still good, but at least like there's some
you'll know
sort
what
of
they're supposed to
database
be
there. Yeah. And they'll have some like generic basic decks when a new set of cards come out. Be like, you can make this deck and it'll show you that and you can fulfill that to kind of get a basic understanding of the game. But obviously when you're more competitive, you're thinking outside the box, you're building your own decks. But to be able to share that information easier within the game, I think is really smart moving forward. You can't do this on your phone. Can't do it on mobile, but you can do it on PC or your Mac, I believe.
Nice.
So,
how big is a deck in Hearthstone?
30 cards.
30 decks. Nice.
30 decks. One deck is 30 decks.
Nice.
I love that.
But yeah, 30 cards.
That's cool. That's really
duplicates of 2.
Oh, sure.
Only 2 of any card other than legendaries, which you can only have 1.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
Maybe I need to check back into this game.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him play it, I'm like, this looks really fun. And then I'm like, collectible card games are a rough road to go down, like, because there's 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
1,000 card games or 1,000 cards?
1,000
Both.
card games. Like, I mean, if you get into that like black hole of like, oh, hey, I do enjoy CCGs. Like, you can there's so many coming out right now. Like, there's a Gwent one. So when you start playing Gwent,
I don't know what that means.
It's in The Witcher. So it's actually a card game. Like, it's a meta game inside of The Witcher.
I totally learned. I totally swept up the first time I played it too.
So that's actually a game you play in The Witcher 3. But then there's actually Gwent that you can just play. And there's a Elder Scrolls one. And I mean, there's billions of them.
Isn't there one in the Final Fantasy series as well?
I think so.
And I still can't figure that one out. It's so convoluted.
Yeah, they're releasing a Fable one, I think next month. It's like
no new Fable game, just a card game.
Just a card game. Yeah. Yeah, Lionhead is gone now. So
well, cool.
Anyway,
maybe I'll go down that rabbit hole someday.
Yeah.
So there's a little thing happening this weekend. Never heard of it before. E3.
Is that 2 letters or is it 3 letters? I'm not
E3,
sure.
Electronic Entertainment Expo?
I mean, it's 3 letters with all 3 E's, but just E3 is just 2 letters. A letter and a
number.
number.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyway, E3's happening.
Yay.
Ah.
I wish we were there.
I've got friends that are going to be there. We've got people that listen to our show that are going to be there.
Yep, it's good stuff.
So talk. I don't know anything about this. Is your list
It's all
ish?
Cliff. Yeah, I made a big old list of stuff. So the first thing about E3 is, and I'm going to be watching it all weekend. I'm going to try and watch as much as I can
In 4K.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. I'll be live tweeting it. So, but I mean, you can also just probably follow. I assume the hashtag will be, hashtag E3 or something along those lines. So there's going to be a ton. I mean, this is just a huge information dump over this weekend. But that is a thing. If you can watch this, and this is a straight recommendation from watching the Game Awards. If you can watch E3 streamed in 4K, it makes such a huge difference in when you're watching demos, because so many demos are being shown in 4K now. Like the Mass Effect demo, I mean, which ultimately ended up being a little meh. But watching the Mass Effect demo in 4K on my TV when they showed it during the Game Awards versus like just checking out later on my PC was impactfully different, which is really strange.
It'll make
because
you buy a bad game.
Yeah, right.
It's that good.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people who play that game and love it.
Oh yeah, I
did
think it's
too.
going to be great. I'm just waiting for it to either get cheap enough or to be able to get it through EA Access, which one of those is going to happen. It's already down to like $35. So, but watch it in 4K if you can, because it really does look better. But it's going to be on Twitch, it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be everywhere. But just kind of as a highlight, so E3 proper is actually next week. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But all the announcements are this weekend. Like, that's the convention part where you can go and see what's going on. But the announcements start actually Saturday. First one is going to be EA. It's Saturday at noon Pacific time. So all these times are Pacific time because it's happening in LA. EA actually isn't at E3. They do like their own little thing called, I think, EA Play, that's actually away from EA, the actual E3 convention center. But you're going to see a ton of Star Wars from them, both Battlefront 2 and like the other 2 or 3 Star Wars games they have in production. And these are all just what we assume, but they're pretty safe assumptions. You're going to see the new Need for Speed game. You're going to see FIFA 18, which if you guys don't know, did you know that FIFA 18 is the best-selling game every year? Always.
The FIFA series?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it's got an international audience.
Oh,
so it doesn't
yeah.
sell terrific here. I mean, people buy it here. I buy it all the time. But it has a huge international audience. So,
Are you a soccer player?
oh, well, I mean,
Fan?
yeah, huge soccer
I
fan.
had no idea.
Oh, yeah. No, I support Real Salt Lake and the Sounders.
Yay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah, rah. So, big soccer fan. But they also have a new game that is codenamed Dylan.
I'm very involved.
What do you know about it, Dylan?
I'm very involved. I'm in the know, and I cannot tell.
Yes, it's I think a BioWare developed game that is going to be a sci-fi Destiny competitor, so that'll be fun. The Microsoft conference is 2 hours. Oh, I'm sorry, the next day at 2 p.m. So that's Sunday, June 11th. Obviously, this is when we're going to find out everything there is to know about the Scorpio. There's going to be release date. There's going to be pricing. There's going to be what it's actually going to be called. What games are going to run on it. We're expecting to probably see, hopefully they're going to say there's a bunch of first-party exclusives, because Microsoft desperately needs first-party exclusives right now, or third-party exclusives. They just need some exclusives. We're going to see Forza 7. We'll see Crackdown 3. We'll see Sea of Thieves. We'll see State of Decay 2, which all look really cool. And some of those are going to be big on Scorpio. And then I guess we'll probably actually see some more stuff on Mixer, the thing that used to be Beam, the Twitch competitor, which is just relaunched as Mixer, and it looks really cool. There's some neat stuff that it can do that like Twitch can't.
Right.
So then 9 p.m. Sunday, we'll see the Bethesda showcase. Not a lot really known what's going to come out of that. Obviously, the Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, Fallout, Dishonored, Prey are their IPs. Presumably, we're going to see something from that, maybe a new Wolfenstein, but something will come out of those. But then they also have what looks like 2 brand new games that are unannounced, so that are not within those IP blocks. So there's 2 brand new games that are 100% new franchises that we don't know anything about. So hopefully those will get announced as well. So that could be interesting.
What do you think they could do for Fallout?
I think it's too soon for Fallout 5. So
Yeah.
if you see anything with Fallout, I think it's either going to be some new expansion, which seems kind of unlikely at this point.
Fallout 4 was what? That's 3 years now?
No. Came out
2013?
the very, very end of 2015.
The end of 2015?
Yeah.
Really?
Came out in November.
Wow.
It came out right during
My
my brother's
timeline's all
wedding.
jacked up.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not very old yet, and those are on like a 4-year development cycle, I think.
Right.
So, I think you'll see a new Elder Scrolls game before you see a new
yay.
Fallout game. So, says the guy that bought it
Woo, woo,
and owns
woo.
it. Skyrim, man.
I know.
It's real good.
I know.
But you'll see something new from them. It should be interesting. Then that night at 10, which Jesus, that's late.
On a Sunday night at 10.
That's because this is the adult content coming right here.
Well, that's really weird, though. I wonder if my times are wrong. Anyway, Devolver Digital, which is kind of a small indie publisher, is having their own E3 showcase, which is kind of strange. They're best known for like some kind of wacky things, genital jousting, which is amazing,
hilarious,
and Broforce and Hotline Miami, and so who knows what they're going to announce? Like literally, I have no idea. But they're doing their own thing, so that's kind of cool. It's cool to see little indies like getting
Broforce
big enough.
genitals.
Oh. Sorry,
I totally got a 14-year-old giggle out of it.
Like you should have seen the picture in my head. Broforce is great.
It's actually like a mashup of all these games.
It'd be amazing.
It's like the Expendables. Like.
So we'll see what comes out of that. And then Monday, 10 a.m., sorry, the PC Gaming Show, which is put on by the guys at PC Gamer, oddly enough.
That's weird.
Is going to be this cool, it's just going to be everything about games and hardware, specifically for the PC, though. So that should be great. And then Ubisoft conference is Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. You're going to see Assassin's Creed, which is probably called Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's probably set in Egypt. More Far Cry 5, which, I mean, looks amazing.
That'll be great.
Mario and the Rabbit Kingdom Battle, which
is going to be the best game ever.
I'm kind of excited about that.
I'm so, like, I want that to be amazing, but I'm like tempering my expectations because it also could be terrible, but I want it to be good. I really, really, really want it to be good. I don't
think there's any chance that this can be
No,
bad.
I hope not. So that should be good. They presumably will talk about the Fractured But Whole, which I'm super excited about.
I sure hope so.
Right?
What's there to talk about other than it's
coming?
Finally coming.
I would guess that they'll probably do another, because it's not out quite yet, so I'm sure they'll do another big gameplay reveal.
Gotcha.
And then Just Dance. Is there anyone excited about Just Dance?
Okay.
Dylan raised his hand for everyone that can't see this because we're on audio.
That's also a lie. What's the crew, too?
That's not true.
It's a racing game, I believe.
Okay.
Cars.
And then big announce, presumably, will be Monday at 6 p.m., which is the Sony announcement. So, like, this is Sony's really got to. I think that they really have to do something big because Microsoft's going to be like it's new
Microsoft's
hardware.
going to own this.
Yeah, and so like they've got to. I mean, the plus side for Sony right now is they have a ton of first and third party exclusives, and like they need to make the biggest deal out of those as possible because otherwise they're going to get chewed alive by hardware that outpaces theirs by quite a bit. We're expecting, but first of all, if you want a PS4 and don't have one, like Adam said, everyone has one already. But if you, for some reason you don't, or you really, really, really want a gold one, they're on sale the entire week of E3. So you can
please don't buy a gold one. Just don't do it.
But if you do, send us a picture.
So we can burn it.
Yeah, the 1 terabyte models are gonna be $250, like for the entire E3 weekend, which I think is like the 9th through the 16th is when the sales run. So that's a pretty dang good deal on a slim, especially the 1 terabyte slim.
Yeah.
We're hoping that we're going to see more PSVR because it was kind of launched big and then they kind of didn't have enough of them and there hasn't been a ton of games, but there's some new cool things coming out. Have you seen the gun that you can get now?
Yeah, the aim controller.
It looks really cool. It's unfortunately like $50 or $60 though. And there's only 5 games that run on it, but it looks like it has a lot of potential.
Right.
So hopefully some more PSVR stuff, but definitely I think we're going to see God of War, Days Gone, Last of Us 2, Detroit Become Human, probably a new Death Stranding trailer, even though that game doesn't come out for like 4 years. Hopefully more Destiny 2 stuff because I'm pumped about that. And then Red Dead 2 is kind of an up in the air thing. Like it's not a Sony exclusive, but it's like a Sony owns all the marketing for it. But there's big rumors that it's also going to be at the Xbox one. So it may be at both. I don't know. That'll be an interesting one to kind of keep an eye on. So we'll see.
What are we expecting from God of War? Like, you've seen the gameplay and stuff, the previous stuff. Does it look like it's going to stay anywhere similar to the old style?
I think so, but I think they're also kind of reworking some things. I mean, God of War is a great game, but I think the play mechanics of God of War are a little bit, like kind of a lot of
button mashing.
Yeah, a lot of button mashing and a lot of QuickTime events. I think that was
Yeah, I think the QuickTime events, I can give or take the QuickTime events. They don't kill it for me, but they're not my favorite.
Yeah, and I think that's how most people feel about them. And they were really big, like, what I'm going to say 3 or 4, I mean, probably last time there was a God of War game. And I think that that's a mechanic that
It's just
probably
dated.
for the
It's had
best
its
has
run.
kind of died. And so I would kind
I
of,
can only go so far.
yeah, I kind of hope that they do a little less
I can
of
only
that.
rip out so many Gorgonized before
Right.
I come over this.
So much fun to do it.
Yeah, but I think that game's going to be awesome. So hopefully we kind of get like some final stuff on that. Does that have a release date yet?
Not that I know
don't think
of. I
so.
think it's early 2018.
Yeah, so hopefully a lot of these are just going to be like, hey, here's a new trailer and here's when it's coming out. And here's a new trailer and here's when it's coming out. So just kind of solidifies
Yeah,
some
I'd like
of
a
these.
lot more confirmation on stuff.
Yeah, and
Instead
so
of
I
look
think-
what we're doing, I want to see when are we doing it.
And that's the nice thing about E3. That's like when people wait to do that stuff.
Right.
So
Cool.
final thing is Nintendo. So Nintendo
It
actually
happens
does...
on my birthday
Hey, happy birthday to Adam.
in a week.
We'll sing him.
Or two
We'll record
in a
next
week.
week on
It's a weird
Tuesday, and
song.
we'll sing to you.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We probably won't do that.
That's fine.
But we can eat cake.
Adam.
I love cake.
Birthday cake, presents. Candles.
Ooh, I like presents.
I like birthday cake. Everybody wins.
So Nintendo's having their thing, not
Yeah.
actually at E3, though.
Yeah, they don't actually do it at E3. They just hey, it's a big live stream because this week's important. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. They've already announced what they're going to talk about, so we don't even have to guess here. It's going to be ARMS.
And that's why I love Nintendo.
Right?
Because they don't make you guess mostly when it comes to, they're like, we're going to talk about this.
They're very direct.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, you're fine.
Don't do that. ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, another Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle thing, Fire Emblem Warriors, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Which I'm excited about.
I'm very excited about that as well. That looks great. Then they're also going to talk about a bunch of new indie games, which I think is great. From the first, I've said the Switch has got to be good first and third party stuff, and then a bunch of indie stuff, and they've done a really good job of that
So far.
And then there's going to be a bunch of new 3DS games, so check that out. Like I said, E3 is just, if you are a Twitter person, that's probably going to be where you're going to get the most up-to-date stuff, but it's going to be everywhere. Like, you won't be able to avoid E3 updates next week.
Yes.
So
That
I'm
makes
very
me
excited.
very happy.
We'll be live tweeting it as much as we can. Part of that happens during the work week, so,
Right. Maybe we'll go get sick.
Yeah, my wife's out of town, though, so I like Friday, Saturday, just going to be all E3. It's going to be good.
Nice. They just had Pokemon Direct, which I did not see that.
I forgot about it, honestly. Kind of like I forgot about the ARMS thing this weekend, too. Did any of you guys try the
didn't
ARMS
play it.
trial?
No,
I completely forgot, yeah.
Yeah, while he's working.
I only had
but-
4 1-hour windows.
I know, right? Yeah.
At
I
2
sneezed
a.m.
and I missed 2 of them, so
Yeah.
yeah.
But Pokemon Direct happened, and there is a new Pokken Tournament DX
Yes.
For the Switch.
for the Switch.
So everyone was kind of hoping for a Pokemon game on the Switch,
Right.
and this is what they got. They were kind of hoping for the Pokemon RPG.
Yeah.
But they did Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are new 3DS versions of Sun and Moon, which is in the same world with new characters. We were kind of hoping to see that on the
So
Switch.
are those like new full-priced games then?
Yeah.
Because that really sounds like DLC on any other platform.
No, well,
Yeah.
it's literally the same. It's like the same world, completely different story, same length of game, everything. You're just existing within the same world, different Pokemon populating it.
Interesting.
But
a different story.
Yeah, different
they
story.
literally
Completely. It's
make,
not
like-
like added on story. It sounds like it's a completely new story.
Interesting. So now the difference between I apologize for being Pokemon stupid, but the difference between Sun and Moon is they're literally the same game, just depending on whether you play it day or night, right?
Yeah, sort of. That was kind of the idea with this one, was the day-night cycle.
Yeah.
So certain Pokemon are in one game and not the other.
Yeah.
Which was kind of, I think, when they started this game, it was like you and your buddy could have the 2 games and you could
And
trade
trade,
Pokemon to
yeah.
collect them all. And that has kind of continued through.
Interesting. So they've really made not 4 complete games for this one Pokemon release, but they've made 3 complete games. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I guess. That's weird. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Then
But anyway,
if you love the Pokemons,
coming to Switch was Pokken Tournament DX, which is Pokken Tournament was pretty well received
Yeah.
on the Wii U.
Did you ever play it?
I haven't played it yet. I was kind of I missed a couple of the games that were put out kind of at the end of the Wii U's life, like Pokken Tournament and Super Mario Maker. I didn't get to play it enough as I would have liked to, and I kind of want to just unplug my Wii U and put it away because I can only have so much space in my room right now.
Right.
So I'm kind of hoping I see those games on the Switch, so I'm kind of excited about this. I didn't play it the first time around. 5 new Pokemon will be added to the roster, so that's a little bonus.
Cool.
I'm sure it's going to look better. It's going to run better.
Yeah.
But mostly going to be the same game, similar to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So
Because we bought Pokken Tournament for the Wii when we had that, and it was, if you've never played it, it's a really interesting play mechanic. It's really interesting because you play in a 3D arena, and then you can switch to, I can't remember what the mode is called, but it's part of your moveset, and it switches the fighting from a 3D arena in 3D space onto a 2D plane in 3D space, and it's really weird. But and that's like a whole different moveset comes into play when you do that.
The game was so off my radar. We talked about
it was fun.
Maybe like 10, 15 episodes ago when they had the big fighting game tournament.
Evo.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I'm like, Poken?
Yeah.
I guess it's
Poken.
Poken.
Yeah.
We got it. And Kevin, of course, because he's good at everything video games, within 10 minutes was just like, I'm done beating it.
I'm going to beat you.
It's good stuff.
So there's all your news.
News.
Is that all the news?
That's
all
the
news. Holy crap.
It just looks really long because I had so many bullet points for E3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, moving on to our listener
Questions.
Yes, what?
Whose questions, though?
Whose question?
Hey, Vinny.
There you go.
What are you doing? What you got for us this week?
It's awful.
You need to come up with different stuff.
How you doing?
That's your goal for next week.
What you trying to say?
I'll put it in the show notes.
Oh, God. First question is, of course, from Vinny. Thank you, Vinny. What game came out of nowhere and left its mark on you unlike most any other, and why?
For me, it was a game that I'd heard of, but, and we've talked about this a billion times, but was Dylan's broken. Like, I'd heard of it, and I'm like, I'll probably get to that eventually. And then I picked it up, like, I think I paid $10 for South Park, The Stick of Truth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's how long after it came out that I picked it up. I mean, I'm going to say a full year.
Mm-hmm.
Played it on the 360. And, like, I'm like, this could be fun, but it'll probably be dumb. Like, I'm a big South Park fan, but I didn't really hold a lot of hope for a South Park role-playing
Because how many
game.
TV shows or movies have made a good video game?
None.
Right.
With maybe the exception of The Stick of Truth. And it was perfect in every single way.
Yeah.
It was the right length. It was funny. The combat was pretty good most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you kind of got in and watched a really long episode of South Park and then got out. And it was perfect. So, I mean, that was definitely the one for me. Dylan?
I think I'm gonna pick BioShock for this.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because it came out in 2007.
Yeah.
I believe.
I can't believe it's that old.
Yeah.
And my family was very late in adopting the internet and computers and everything. So the only way I followed games was like Game Informer, official Xbox magazine, Nintendo Power, whatever.
I wish OXM was still a thing.
Whatever periodicals I could.
Buy at 7-Eleven.
I could pick up at Safeway when I would go with my mom or whatever, and the demo discs that I would get from those or whatever. And I pretty religiously, I would try to get subscriptions because you'd save money.
Yeah.
We didn't always have all the money in the world to spend on
Game
things,
magazine
but
subscriptions are really expensive too.
Yeah, and I'm sure then they got more expensive lately because they have to make their money back, right? But it used to be a little more affordable. But this is one of the games that I got on a demo disc and I put in. I was like, "Dang!
Oh yeah,
I need this game."
The first 10 minutes of that game,
you see that water, you're like, water has never looked like that in a game before.
Right.
I agree.
Far Cry was the same way with the water effects, was incredible, but just that I was like, man, I need to play this game. So I picked that up right away, and I was like, this is it. And it wasn't a sequel. It was a new fresh IP. So that was real exciting.
It's really good. Agreed. Adam?
Good. My game it's going to be Ori and the Blind Forest, just because when we started doing this podcast, I wasn't that big of a gamer. I mean, I bought the stuff because it was shiny and I'd like to think myself as a gamer, and I still don't. I'm not that big of a gamer, but I needed something to continue on. Because every time we're talking about games we play, I need a new game to play. I need to make sure that I've got something to talk about to bring to the show. And when I started playing Ori, within the first 10 minutes of that game, I was just floored. So I was not expecting that. The emotional punch that it had, the story that it had, the type of game that it is has been done 1,000 times, but just never to that degree of damn near perfection.
Always great.
So it controls great. It looks great. The story is great. It's difficult, but it's not inaccessible to just about every type of player there is. It's, in my view, a perfect game. Yeah. And it came out of nowhere for me. And I had to stop. I want to go back through and play it again, and I want to go through and finish everything, but it was just such a perfect experience that first time through. I kind of need to give it a couple of months to kind of sit there for a while before I go back and get back into that universe, just because it's so affecting and
That's
it's
what I was
so
thinking
good.
about Oxenfree,
So good.
Is I want it to like settle a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that constantly about Inside too. Like I want to play Inside again, but like maybe it's been a little too soon to play Inside again. So
yeah, games need a little time to breathe. Like like with Zelda right now, I need to stop. I need to stop. So anyway, so that's that. Ori is mine.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's
thanks,
good.
Vinny. Jesse T. And I think I talked to Jesse.
Yeah, you did.
He was asking about the games and PlayStation-y stuff, I think, or graphics and stuff, I think. I don't know.
Seems very possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stuff
I
and
drink.
things, for
I drink.
sure.
Anyway, Jesse's question is,
I'm
what's your
adamant. I make excuses.
right? What's your favorite 5 to 10 hour cheap under $20 Steam game that isn't a horror game?
Yeah.
And again, I refer you to the lovely game called Ori and the Blind Forest.
That's a good one.
Because that game is roughly 10 to 20 hours, depending on how much of a completionist
Is
you
it
are.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I
Yeah,
need
it's
to
not
get
that
on
long. And to double check, I pulled up how long to beat just to make sure that I was right. And yeah, like the main story on average is about 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's going to be maybe 12 hours if you want to complete everything. So it's not a long game. But again, it's the perfect bite-sized kind of game to get in, play it for a week or two, and be done.
Perfect.
Yeah. Or go back and be a completionist if you want. So that's mine.
This
Jesse.
one's tough. There's so many good ones. I mean, and I think we constantly talk about Inside and Firewatch and
Gone Home
and
Oxenfree
and
Ori.
Like there's so many games that fit that.
I can keep throwing them out here.
What's the other one that the Inside folks
Limbo.
made? Limbo. You know, and those are all probably a little bit under that 5 hour mark. But they're also all ones that if you watch, you can pick up for a lot less than $20 too.
Oh yeah.
And they're all great if you just want like a small self-contained thing. Layers of Fear was that you didn't want horror games. Don't play that if you don't like horror games. Oxenfree is also scary. Don't play that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and even like Inside, even though it's not a horror game, it's definitely got some heart-stopping moments.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's hella weird.
Rocket League is a great game that you could just pop in and like you don't need to play it for 400 hours, but you could play it for 20 and have a great time. And it's cheap. Terraria is another one of those that like that was about how much Terraria I wanted to play. It was about 20 hours of it, which is super fun. We already talked to him actually about Torchlight and Torchlight 2. Those are both really good kind of Diablo style games that are probably in that.
Are they really
range.
that short of a game?
Yeah, I've beat both of them. Neither of them are super long.
I've got both of them, and I had no idea.
They're both terrific.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
really
terrific.
liked it. I just had no idea they were that short of a game. I thought
Portal 2 would both be terrific.
Yeah.
Let's
Portal's a
see.
good
What else do I got?
And my guess
Stardew
is,
Valley.
Well, yeah, and so my guess is that because these are all like these games could go on forever and ever and ever.
Yep.
So my guess is he's wanting, pretty much a contained beginning, middle, end, 20 hours.
Yeah.
Or 5 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I mean, like Portal 2 would be perfect.
Yeah. And that game is cool too. The Portal 2, the online. I'd never done an online multiplayer game, and you can do
work.
Yeah, Kevin and I, we logged in together when we were doing the long distance thing between Portland and Seattle. We got in and played Portal 2 together, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
But I think any of those would probably work out really, really well for you.
Mm-hmm. Dylan, do you have any suggestions?
Why do I?
Those eyes.
I just...
Did you lose it? No. Okay.
I really want to talk about this game because I kind of just all of a sudden got a craving to play it again, and that's Guacamelee.
Oh,
totally forgot about that.
So good.
Yeah.
That's fun co-op too.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I don't know why I was thinking about this game. Probably should have kind of thrown it into that last category too. Like came out of left field. This game's awesome.
Right.
It's just super cool. I of course love kind of the luchador style of this. That kind of has
that game's got amazing art direction.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's really fun to play. Yeah, it's real fun, and I think this is a game that you can play really well without a really complicated system of combat or anything, and you can kind of,
Although I will say the difficulty in that game ramps. Like that game's hard. Like the last 20% of that game is rough. So, but that game, if I'd thought about it, I would have added that last question too because it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Good.
Is that?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
it.
Oh, okay. All right. Next question comes from Kevin S. Hi, Kevin. Thank you. What game were you most excited about before it released? Was there a ton of hype behind the game? And if so, did it live up to the hype?
I am going to say actually a pretty recent game for me was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And the funny thing is I have not played a ton of that game, but it's mostly just because I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around playing a 40-hour video game right now. Just because there's so many games I want to play. Like I
just started The Witcher.
Yeah, right.
So come
Good
on.
luck. But I think it's really funny lately. I've been really in the mood for just like I want to play a game that I can start and beat in a week or two. And I've been doing that for like 3 months now of just like these like 4 or 5 hour kind of experiences. And so I've had a hard time getting back to it, but every time I do, that game is so good. And it was totally pitched as that, like, this is the game that's going to show off your PS Pro. It's going to be the game that's going to amaze you with its visuals. It's going to be the game that has all these awesome play mechanics. You're fighting giant dinosaurs. The other day, I got on the back of a, like, 200-foot tall mechanical giraffe. It was amazing. And that game...
Animal.
Yeah, exactly. He's 200 feet tall. Every single thing I thought would be in that game is in that game. And I've heard that it slows down a little bit as you get further into it, but it continuously blows my mind.
Is it an open world style game
Yeah.
or is it like a linear-ish?
No, it's open world.
Okay.
But that was a game that came out with a ton of hype, and nothing about that game has disappointed me. If anything, like, the story is actually a lot better than I thought it would be.
Gotcha.
So that's me.
Mine is obviously Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, just because there was so much hype to it that, like, people who are Nintendo fans were waiting for years on that. I want to say how many years between when they first said they were doing it and showed off a little bit of it.
I'm not sure it was super on my radar. I don't know.
Oh, it was a while.
Yeah.
It was a while. And then when it came out and I started playing it, of course, I'm still playing it. It's like crack.
Yeah.
I can't put it down.
You can't stop breaking those weapons.
Yep.
I know.
Over and
I
over
have
and
to
over
keep
again.
going and going and finding.
Yeah.
And the royal, like, golden claymore.
I really like Breath of the Wild, but it would be a game that did not live up to the hype for me.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It did more than live
If
up to
the
the hype.
weapons didn't break, I think it would live up to that.
There's just a couple of design decisions that I don't like about that game. It's still fun. Like, do not get me wrong. That game's a 9 out of 10.
Well, it's a 10 for me.
Yeah, you're wrong.
That's okay.
But
for
it's
you,
really good. Yeah.
Dylan?
I think I'd have to say Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Ooh.
Really? Because normally you're the GTA 5 fanboy or Vice City
Well,
guy.
I'm trying to think, like, what game was I most excited about? And that was... So, I got my PS2 after GTA 3 and Vice City. Therefore, I played those games a bunch. So, the first game I ever got to go pick up on release day in the GTA series was San Andreas.
Okay.
Nice.
Therefore, I will never be that excited again.
Yeah.
And I was in middle school. So, this is a very emotional time of, like, like, I had a lot of time to really invest in video games compared to maybe now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But convincing my mom to go take me to get San Andreas because I probably wasn't old enough to buy it at
No,
that time.
you weren't.
Most definitely
and
not.
bring it home and then playing. And the amount, and yes, it did live up to the hype. This game was huge and massive and sprawling. It did everything way more than any game, I think, of that generation. But I'm just thinking back to the conversations I had about this game at school.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever talked about any game as much as that game at any time in my entire life. So many people were playing that game and talking about it. It was so revolutionary, and I don't think any game has had that kind of conversation since, at least in my life. So,
Yeah, I think the problem with this question is the more I think about it, there's so many games popping up. Like Vice City was probably the GTA game for me, but Skyrim was the same way for me. Like that was a game that I'd look forward to, and then came out and I just adored. There's lots of great games. There are really just a lot of great games.
My other one for this would have been God of War 3, just because I loved God of War 1 and 2, but I played those well after the fact, well after they come out. So
Right.
it's kind of along the same lines as when I got my PS3. I got it super cheap off of Craigslist like a year after it came out. And then God of War 3 finally came out for that. I want to say that came out like year 1 or 2 of the PS3 because it wasn't a launch game. And I remember finally getting it and loading that in and seeing Kratos in like HD was amazing.
Yeah, it was next level compared to what we played before.
And then the scale of those games has always been pretty epic, especially like in the first one when you're on the Colossus or whatever it is, the
big thing.
The thing out in the desert with the stuff.
Titan?
The Titan. Thank you.
Chronos specifically?
Was it Chronos? Yes.
It's a time one.
Yeah. Like that was pretty ridiculously epic, but when you're riding up the back of Gaia up the Mount Olympus towards and then when you just chop her arm off and send her flying.
I've almost bought that game because I think it's actually crossplay on the PS4 now, I want to say. Like there's an HD version of it. I think. I think
you're right.
Is that worth buying? I mean, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for, I'm sure, the price you can get
it's cheap. Yeah, it's like $5. I've almost bought it a couple times.
Yes, do it.
Nice.
The scope of that game is just
it's so good.
There's no larger game in scope. Like, I don't care if you're in space. Like, it is not bigger than gods riding on Titans on the giant Mount Olympus. Like nothing is bigger than that.
Like Zelda's world is huge, but the sheer sense of like scale and epicness
nothing
in God of War 3 I've never played another game that feels as big as that.
Interesting. Yeah, and I've never played any of them. I played Dante's Inferno, which is like, I think like the GoBots version of Transformers too.
Right. And what was what's the other one? Dante's Inferno. That's the one. But then there's another.
There was a lot of those that came out at the
God of War knockoffs.
Time.
Yeah, I got Dante's Inferno like super cheap. Like I paid maybe $5 for it, and it was fun. I beat it.
What's the other? There's that other series that they've got the definitive.
Darksiders.
Yeah, Darksiders. I grabbed that for something the other day.
Darksiders 3 is coming out. It sounds real good.
Yeah. I got that.
I haven't played it yet too. I've only played it in real small dose, but I've been waiting. I need
that
to
style of game, that button masher hack and slash.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
I love that mythology too. So
that's one of my big concerns too about God of War 4, the new God of War, is that it's losing its Greek mythos and it's going to a Norse mythology.
But Norwegian mythology is real interesting.
Yeah, it is. But after you build this character up over the series of 5 games, total,
he's gonna have a kid in this one too, right?
Oh, he had a kid in the other one.
Yeah, he just killed them all.
But I think
he killed his wife and kids.
He actually has a son in this one, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it'll be weird. It'll be a complete departure from me.
If the kid's not dead.
Seriously, he needs to pull a Last of Us and just. Anyway, children, ew. Cheap free games.
And with that,
cheap free games.
Oy.
So what's this about? Xbox games are now available to download? What is all this?
It's
June now.
Yeah, it's June now.
Sweet. So go get your Xbox stuff.
Go get them.
Speedrunners and
that one.
Assassin's Creed 3, I think.
I'm more excited for later in the month. What was
Speedrunners is awesome. Everyone should get that. It's phenomenal.
But what's free?
Watch Dogs?
Watch Dogs, yeah, that's the one.
Ooh, I bought the first one. It's totally worth the price of admission on that.
It'll be free.
Yeah.
I'm not buying later this month, but I'll still have it.
Yeah.
That
Watch
one.
Dogs.
I don't remember what the other Xbox 360 game is, but
PlayStation Plus, the rumors were true.
Hey.
Yeah, Killing Floor 2. That's out now.
It looks cool.
Yeah, or that's been out. It's out for PlayStation Plus members now.
Yeah, because they released today, actually.
Yeah.
So 2 days ago for you listening.
I added them. I got the email saying blah, 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 and I went directly to the PlayStation Store website, which this time when I went through, I wasn't able to add it directly to my library. I had to do the whole add to cart crap.
I did too. It's so weird.
So they need to figure it
Get
out.
Get that stuff figured.
At least I can add it to a cart here.
Right.
True.
So Killing Floor 2, what exactly? I've not played it. Is it a first-person shooter, like
it's a
first-person
shooter.
hack and slashy?
It's kind of like an arcade style first-person shooter.
Okay.
It looks like I don't think there's a lot of depth to this game, but it's been pretty well received at just being a really solid shooter. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a 9 out of 10 on Steam. So, I mean,
nice.
Slightly different, but.
And I know a lot of people really, really like this other game, Life is Strange.
Yeah, that's been on my
episodic narrative kind of thing.
It's been on my to-buy list. I've literally almost bought that game. Oh, geez, I don't even know how many times.
Yeah, whenever it's gone on some sort of sale, I'm like, I could get that, but I'm probably not going to play it right now, so I'm just going to wait it out.
And I've done the exact same thing.
And it paid off.
It paid off.
Nice.
Paid off, so.
If you're still rocking that PS3, hello. Love ya. And there are 2 games. There is Abyss Odyssey.
Yeah, don't play that.
Why?
It's not very
Well,
good.
I added it to my library just in case.
It's not terrible. It's a
what is it?
It's a roguelike. And it's really hard. Well, I don't know. I thought it was really hard. I've read some reviews that said it wasn't very hard, but it's pretty. But it was not. I played it for maybe 2 or 3 hours. I just wasn't super impressed.
Gotcha. There is also WRC5 World Rally Championship for the PS3.
That sounds like a driving game.
If you like to race, get it.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
don't, I mean, it's a free game. So, if you have the PlayStation Vita, which I am now part of that club, have been for about a month or two, and I enjoy it quite much. Neon Chrome is one of your PlayStation games for the month.
That's like the best name.
Neon Chrome.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a very like.
You think it's going to look one way, but it looks the other.
Exactly.
Does it? Really?
It's
Is
very
it neon or
purpley,
is it
pinky, neon-y, chromy.
yeah, what? I don't even know what this game is.
I don't either. It's very well rated though. And it's it is a masterful combination of top-down shooter and endless replayability with procedural levels. Oh, it's a twin-stick shooter. Looks good.
Yeah. It kind of looks like that,
Sounds cool.
like Hotline Miami-ish looking thing.
Yeah, it looks good. And
Okay.
that's cross-buy too, so that you can play that on your PS4.
Oh, sweet. And same with the other one, Spy Chameleon.
Spy Chameleon.
Which did you see any of the video gameplay of this? It's super cool looking. It almost looks like it's a stealth game. Like, did you ever see the gameplay for Stealth Inc., where it's the 2D side scroller one?
Oh yeah.
So,
he
but
plays
it's
a chameleon.
yeah, it's top down.
I like it.
Not
Yeah,
to be confused with Chameleon Spy.
It looks actually kind of like Monaco too, a little bit.
Chameleon what?
Chameleon Spy. I just don't confuse those two games.
Is Chameleon Spy
is
a game?
Chameleon Spy an actual
I
game?
don't think so.
Oh,
So you probably won't.
you won't. Yeah, you could search Chameleon Spy and find the same thing. Guarantee you. Also, thank you for pointing this out to me. By the way, Cliff, the GOG
Yes.
summer sale. What is GOG exactly?
Good old games.
Cool. They're having a crazy big sale. I had no idea this was a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's cool because all their stuff, like I think you can get everything DRM free if that's your jam, but I think otherwise you can just get a Steam key so it just loads in your Steam library.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think, and they also do a weird matching thing where it's not all their games, but every once in a while, like if you just go in and say, they'll look at your Steam library and just give you the same game in your GOG library. So, but yeah, their summer sale on right now is really, it's really funny because I didn't realize it was happening, and then I just started seeing all these sales. I'm like, oh my God, go buy, Oxenfree, it's
Oxenfree.
$5, and then there was
Which
something
I
else
did.
earlier this morning. I'm like, go buy this, it's $5, and then I'm like, wait, there seems to be a pattern here.
Yeah, I ended up picking up Oxenfree because, yeah, if you want to play Oxenfree and you don't want to pay $15-$20 for it on Steam, you can get it over here at least at the time of recording.
I think this goes for quite a few
$5.
days, so I'm sure it's going to be cheap.
Okay.
Maybe not, I don't know.
So I picked that up, and then I immediately noticed Saints Row 4 was on sale for
Such a good
$4.98. So I'm like, I guess that's...
Can't go wrong.
I
with that.
don't think I can, so I grabbed it, and then I'm typical me. I'm like, I want that game, so I'll buy it. Then I'll go look for reviews after I bought it.
No, it's spectacular.
Yeah, and it looks pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And also The Witcher 3, it's currently on
$25.
sale, $25 over there. There was Mirror's Edge is $4.
Yeah.
So
Mirror's Edge is fun.
yeah, there's a lot of really, really good stuff.
Yeah. And it's hard to say how long these will last, but I mean, Little Nightmares is,
Yeah, it's
25% off. That came out like a month ago.
Barely.
Outlast 2's $7 off. Pillars of Eternity is like less than half price. I mean, there's some really good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Grim Dawn's real cheap. That's a great kind of Diablo style game if you dig that kind of stuff. Braids.
You should
$3.
not have shown me this.
I know, right? It's these, and
You get Firewatch for $9.
yeah. Oh,
buy it
that's what
again.
I said. Yeah, go get Firewatch because Firewatch
What?
is amazing. There's just and their games kind of tend to skew a little bit older some of the time. They've got a lot of new stuff too.
I think it's in the
Kentucky
title.
Route Zero is 50% off. That's a great point and click adventure game. The Witness is $20, which is real fun. There's just a ton of stuff on sale, and I mean it's just like any of these. Owlboy's 33% off, so it's 17. It's
Yeah.
you can just spend all your money.
Yeah, I'm probably going to. So thanks
Stardew
for that.
Valley's 33% off, but I mean there's a Steam sale probably coming up next month too.
Great,
So,
because I need more.
more stuff.
One thing I forgot to mention earlier that in the what I've been playing. So I know that I was chatting a bit about it in Discord. I was like, I need to break the Zelda spell, so I'm going to load up this game, and I loaded up Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
Have either of you played that?
I watched the video.
Have you've seen?
Yeah.
You've seen. So it's a side scrollery RPG, very much in the same vein as
Souls-esque, one might say.
what
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. I didn't know that. I read reviews about it before I got it. This was one of my I'm drunk. I'm gonna buy it. And I remember reading reviews saying it was like Dark Souls and it's so great and blah, blah, blah. I didn't know Dark Souls was just this punishing RPG thing. So I died about 152 times in about 25 minutes and said, I need a break.
Maybe I'm done.
Yeah. Anyway, so you can add that to the things I'm playing.
Yeah, that's a cool looking game though. Like
it's great.
Made by 2 people.
Yeah, it's just I have not been spanked that hard since I was a toddler.
I'm not
like I was just ruined.
I keep thinking like, oh, I'd really like to try a Dark Souls game. Everyone talks about how amazing they are. And then like I hear about how brutally hard and I know how bad I am at most games. So I'm like, maybe that's not for me.
Don't even.
Dark Souls 2 is in next month's Humble Bundle Monthly, so I guess we'll see.
Like I'll find out for hella cheap.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, on to small bites, which we haven't really had. Sorry, my phone totally went off. Oh, okay, good. It was Dylan. Thanks. We haven't talked a lot about small bites just because it's kind of off our radar sometimes, but when something comes out that deserves our attention, we give it to it. And yesterday, a game launched on iPhone and iPad, which did not launch for Android yet, but it was one of my favorite mobile games, and that was Monument Valley.
Yeah, the game's terrific.
So good. If you've not played it, it's like what's the artist, MC Escher?
Yeah.
It's like one of his paintings,
weird
kind of things come to life.
God, it's amazing. Kind of surrealism.
Is that the guy that
the stairs? Yeah. It's kind of like that, where it's like you see these pathways to one place and you twist it and then the paths go to another place, but it looks like...
Yeah, because you can like rotate the entire thing like sideways and upside down.
You can rotate pieces within these castles and these levels, and it's just so cool.
It's hard, but God, it's fun.
Yeah, totally rewarding, totally worth I think I got it when Amazon had their Underground app thing, so I got it for free.
Yeah, which is actually going away. I was disappointed to hear that.
But I mean, still, I think it was $5 for the full game.
$5.
Yep.
And there was DLC for it that you got, so it was good. It was really good. Anyway, Monument Valley 2 is out if you need something to play on the commute to work, like if you're on the bus, on the train, on whatever, and you don't want to bring your Switch or Vita or Game Boy or 3DS or whatever.
5 Bones is not bad either for a game. Like,
play it on your phone.
When's it coming out for Android? Do you know?
Android is coming soon.
Coming soon. So soon.
So eventually I'll get to play it because I'm that guy. And I just ordered my new Android phone. So
that was
it's whatever. Anyway.
What did you get?
I'm an HTC fanboy through and through, so the new HTC U11 comes out the weekend of my birthday. So
happy birthday to
I pre-ordered it.
And by that you mean this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so I should have this phone very soon. I need it bad.
Cool.
Because like I was saying earlier, my phone, if the people who listen to us, if you're friends of ours on Facebook, if you're friends with me, I don't know, but you might have seen a status update where my phone randomly decided to read The Rock's wiki page to me. I set it down this morning on my console, and it said, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a former blah, 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 blah wrestler into Hollywood and just started reading these facts.
That's amazing.
I think that's my favorite thing about having a Amazon Echo is occasionally you'll say something that'll trigger and then she'll just say something completely random. I'm like, hey.
Right. I was just going to say the same thing because speaking of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is a wrestler who was in the WWE, there's a current women's wrestler, Alexa Bliss. So I was watching the new pay-per-view, and I just set up my new Echo right next to the TV. So every time they'd say her name, it would just trigger and light up, and just waiting for me to tell it something.
But it's just like, listening to your TV.
Yeah, it's just listening to the TV.
Cortana does that for me, too. My brother's name's Colby, and my kid's name is Carter.
There's
enough C names that every once in a while Cortana will just start like listening as I'm playing, Destiny. I'm like, no, quiet. No, Cortana, go away. You're in the way of my things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, yay technology.
Yeah.
All right. To wrap things up, we go to our troll corner.
And the troll comes out from the corner.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
People every single listener just stopped listening.
I don't know if they stopped listening so much as they might have just crapped a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they want to know. They want to know what I'm about to say.
Please tell us.
So, let's think back to our conversation about the new Chinese law with gambling and video games.
Yeah, mm-hmm. We have to release the percentages.
The percentage of the Overwatch loot crates specifically. So Overwatch in China is now letting you purchase currency within the game.
Interesting.
So that's something we can't do here in the U.S. yet, which would be nice because then you could finally get some of those skins that you'll never get enough credits for because you never really get credits. But you can do that in Overwatch in China. However, the prices are very high for the amount of currency you get because they come with free loot boxes.
Weird.
So for I think 238 Chinese dollars, whatever that amounts to, is about 40 American dollars, I believe. Gets you some minuscule amount of currency that can't even buy you like an epic skin, but you get 40 free loot crates, which is the same amount of loot crates you would get here for $40.
How bizarre.
So they're using it just as a loophole, and they're totally trolling.
That's so bizarre.
See, and I don't play Overwatch, so I don't even get it. But it just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, they're really just selling you overpriced currency, like way overpriced, and then throwing in free loot boxes.
Free loot boxes.
So you're basically buying loot boxes, but because they're gifts, they actually don't fall into the law. Because
are you buying a loot box? You're buying currency and getting the loot boxes for free.
Loot boxes for free. So you're not actually buying things that have some sort of random probability. So it's not gambling.
That's crazy.
But you're buying current in-game currency that's not even close to worth the value, because I mean it's hard to make
right.
that case
No, I get it now.
There's no real value on the currency, so it's hard to say it's not worth the value, but it's definitely not, because if you can't get a skin for $40, because you can't even buy one of the fancy skins for $40 worth of whatever currency you're getting.
It's insane.
So that's just some weird little loophole that they're exploiting just so that
I really don't like that laws have to be written a certain way, and it's so easy just to like make a loophole like that around that. So I'm not really a big fan of this.
No,
I think it should matter either way. Like I don't think they really should have had to worry about I don't know. If you want to buy random loot drops, go for it. But this just seems like it's totally silly.
I get why they're doing it. Like, and it's a grossly necessary part of video games these days. When, we were talking the other day, like the original, GTA 5 cost $250,000 to make. Destiny is rumored to have cost $500 million to make.
Wow.
So like they've got to make this money from somewhere. And yeah, I mean, GTA obviously has made it back $60 a pop times 75 million. But, some of these games aren't making $120 bajillion, and so they need this extra revenue to pay developers and to pay people to do bug fixes and that kind of stuff. So I mean, as much as I think a lot of people hate loot boxes, it's a business model that's not going to go away,
right?
And so even if it's cheesy, like it's again a thing that we kind of need, but it'd just be nicer if there was a way that felt less crappy. I guess the thing is like it works, I mean on Half-Life, TFC or CSGO or whichever one of those things, like you just buy hats and like you buy the hat. It's not I don't think you buy a loot box, you buy things. And so I would almost just rather just release a bunch of cool stuff and let me actually just go buy that skin, not like
shopping.
Have to buy 10 boxes so I can maybe get that skin maybe. Like
it's crazy some of the fancy League of Legends skins, how much they sell them for, and people buy them.
I mean I think the thing is too, the thing that I hate is that it's like getting into the real world. Like my kid all the time wants to buy those. They're $5 and it's a blind bag of maybe some Minecraft character, and I mean, there's so many different blind bags and blind boxes and blind. I'm like, couldn't we just buy things? Like, I would rather pay $20 than $5, 8 times
to get the same thing 4 times.
Yeah.
Like I would, because there's a couple skins I'd really like, and just let me buy them. Like, I shouldn't have to.
I agree.
Grind for some silly skin. Like,
I get it,
but I'm not going to get it because it doesn't really.
Yeah, it's dumb, but like I said, it's until we figure out a better way. And I mean, I'd rather have someone else buying skins than me pay $70 for games.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, I would love to support Overwatch more. Like, I would not mind kicking them some money, but I'm not going to do it through random loot boxes because.
And that was exactly how I felt about Rocket League. Is I was perfectly happy to buy the new cars when they came out, and the new arenas and all that stuff. But I didn't want to. I never bought a loot box.
Mm-hmm. So if you're listening, Overwatch, I have money for you if you would like it. But there's no way for me to give it to you right now.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're listening and they fix it.
I assume they listen. I assume everyone listens.
I assume everybody's listening.
Should.
It's like War of the Worlds. We just broadcast.
So yeah.
It's good stuff.
There's that. That's it?
Yeah,
we're done.
Come hang out with us on Discord.
Yes.
We've got not a ton of people, but there's been some lively discussions. We've
There's
had a
some
lot of fun.
Cathys in there.
Yeah, it's good.
What are Cathys?
Chatty Cathys.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but like everyone that hangs out there is awesome. We've had a
You
lot
can
of
see
fun.
pictures of me at the gym at 10 o'clock at night.
You did last night. We also saw him eating at Starbucks. On Saturday morning. Sunday morning.
yeah,
There's a lot of pictures.
dude.
There's more pictures of Adam than you'd think, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but we've had a great time in there. Come hang out with us there. We talk about video games. We talk about not video games. It's good.
Sometimes it's rants about wrestling.
Yeah, there's a lot of wrestling. It was real weird. I just went away for a little while.
So you can follow us on all of the social medias.
Yep, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube's.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube? Isn't there? Aren't we somewhere else?
No, I don't think so.
I can't
We're
remember.
everywhere.
We have an
everywhere.
Instagram, but it's not very interesting.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, Byte Me Podcast, BYTE, Me Podcast, all over the place. And yeah, next week we'll have all the E3 info for you.
Yep, we might do 2 podcasts next week.
Oh, my goodness. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to tease a little bit about what we're going to talk about.
No.
Yeah, we could.
E3.
Yeah. I think this
Three.
is the show where we start teasing what's coming up next week,
Do it.
since there's already stuff in the show notes, too.
Yeah, right?
So next week we're going to talk about what other developers and game companies and games can learn from Nier Automata.
Yes.
Because there's a certain thing that they do perfect, or really close to perfect.
Something I really liked anyway.
And we're also going to talk about the big deal about backwards compatibility. Why is that such a thing?
Good stuff.
Yeah. See you then.
Bite me.